Okay, I think we are live. Sorry for the short delay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are dialing in to see this very exclusive hour with Mr. Horst Gischer. We've got Sharon James, a UK leader, on the call as well. She'll be dealing with any questions you may have to ask. So in a moment, we will be discussing with Horst the events of 2017, what has been his biggest challenge and achievement this year so far, and what has been an incredible year for USI-TECH, and then taking a look forward to 2018 and what USI-TECH has in store for us all. So, without further ado, let's welcome the man himself, Mr. Horst Gischer, onto the call. Horst, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. A bit tired. Was traveling from Dubai to Brazil. It was a 24-hour journey, but finally I'm here, almost prepared for Christmas. Everything is fine. And how are you?
So you're back in Brazil then, yeah? Because last time we spoke, you was in Dubai.
Yeah, 2 days ago it was Dubai, now it's Brazil. I'm a Dubai citizen now, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. I mean, it's been an incredible year for USI. We've got an amazing amount of people on the call today. A lot of these people will be listening to you for the very, very first time. So I think before we look back on the events of 2017, which has been incredible, let's just talk a little bit about yourself, your background, what makes you tick, because you're a very successful guy in your own right, and what drives you to continue to do what you've been doing for us all. So a little bit of background on your business, businesses that you've been involved in, Horst, please.
Sure. I'm 50 years young now. Just celebrated my birthday in October, by the way. And I'm originally from Germany. I was born in Germany, near to Stuttgart. So I'm the Porsche and Mercedes guy. That was surrounding my life the whole time. To my background, I studied in the 80s computer science, and finally, when I finished my study, I was able to open my own company, developed some security software things, and for the industrial environment, and that was something new, because I was actually the first company who was able to develop something like this based on PCs. Network PCs. That was a pioneer phase in my life. And finally, I end up with one of the leaders in Europe for time and attendance and access control systems. Very exciting time with a lot of famous customers like banks, like airports, like insurance companies and all these things. And it was a great business. And finally, I merged myself with a Swiss company that was in '92, I guess. And that ends up with public going in Swiss. That's Kaba, or actually I should say that's Dorma Kaba now, the leading company for security and door equipment worldwide, with I think 6 or 7 billions in terms of euro turnover. So I was involved in this process. It was very exciting. It was me responsible for outside Swiss, for all the access control and security things. And actually, I was able to build up a huge market and opened many doors for the company. And finally, I decided to leave, and a new exciting task was waiting for me. Another company, also meanwhile a leading company located in Germany and worldwide, one of the leading access control companies by the name Premium, and also they are on the stock market now. And then I changed myself to a more international responsibility to Variant is now also in the stock market. They are doing speech recognizing, speech recording, and video surveillance systems. I think they are on 8 billion in terms of dollars income now. As I said, registered or public on the New York Stock Exchange. That was exciting as well. And when I was 56, I almost decided to retire, so to say, because don't get me wrong, it was exciting. It was very busy at all, because when you are in management roles like this in such huge companies, it's always the same. You are changing time against money. And it was really exciting. It was more than perfect for me, being a student and always in an owner or management role in the industrial world, international. But it was enough. I met my wife 6 or 7, it's 7 years ago now, 7 years ago, and she is from Brazil. And we have the privilege to live in Brazil, on Mallorca Island, and Swiss, and traveling around the world. So, and that's when I met these guys from the total different world, so to say, which is the direct sales world and the trading world and the Forex world and whatever. And it was exciting for me because first of all, it was something new. My friend Mike, he introduced it to me. They were talking about being able to make a lot of income in the Forex world, which is one of the highest risk environments in terms of investments. And finally, I realized there's a great software in place, and I was investing money as well, and it turned out well. And we decided to start with our adventure, so to say, with USI-TECH last year in October. Finally was the official opening. And what happened since then, it was just unbelievable, I can tell you, just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously, you've had a very successful career. I mean, myself and Grant joined USI-TECH back in October when it was in the pre-launch, when it was just the FX product that you was alluding to just then. And that was, you know, long before we knew anything about the BTC product that came to pre-launch in March of this year. I mean, people forget we're only a year, not even a year old on the BTC product, but just over a year old as a company going live. What exactly was your involvement when the FX, when they actually launched? Was you involved with USI at the time that it launched, or did you come in to the company slightly after that for the BTC side of the business?
No, actually, it was a year before when Mike offered me to invest in this Forex software. He was engaged with a person in Portugal. They were developing Forex automatic trading softwares, and he asked me to invest on a basis of 50,000 euros or more into a Forex software. And I asked him, "Are you kidding me? This is one of the most riskful market in the world, and I'm not going to spend my money in such a adventure or whatever." But he said, "Okay, no problem. If you invest and you're going to fail, I'm pay for you. As I'm your friend, you trust me." I said, "Sure, I trust you." He said, "Okay, invest it. If it's going to fail, I'm going to pay for it." I said, "That's great. We are talking about 50,000 euros." He said, "Yes, 50,000 or more. That's at least what you have to invest. Everything less makes no sense." I said, "Okay, if you're going to pay for it, if I'm going to fail, I'm invest 100,000 euros.
I wish you could see that.
And actually, it turned out unbelievable. They were talking about up to 150% in terms of return of investment, and it was just great. It was unbelievable. I met all these people, and my background is a technical background. I studied computer science in the 80s, so I really understand something about software, programming, and all these things. And finally, I realized this is a huge opportunity and a great software, and it's really unique in the market. And that's where everything started. And then Mike came up with, why don't we sell an, let's say, a package for people? Just have to plug in my power supply. Otherwise, I'm gone in a moment. And then we, 3 months before launch, we created this Forex automatic trading environment where people being able to invest 600 euros, buy their own trading software, and open their own broker account. And that was very successful, actually. But the problem, you know, when you look back to my career, I was always searching for something big and something exciting. Then when I realized, you know, direct sales, I mean, to sell a software for 600 euros and on top of it, ask people to invest their money into a broker account, at least in order to, that it makes sense, 10,000 euros or something like this, it's not really, it does not really take off like crazy. I mean, of course, we had a great start and a lot of customers in a short time, but it's not really big. I mean, if I talk about big, I'm talking about hundreds or millions of customers, not thousands or 2,000 or 3,000 of customers. So I realized that's not really something that's going to take off like crazy. That was around Christmas, January this year. And as we are actually a software company and we are developing software solutions for trading, it was just clear that we're gonna take care of the cryptocurrency market as well, or at least find a way to be engaged in the cryptocurrency. So I was thinking about a product, and to be honest, I think it was the end of January. I was a bit unsatisfied with the whole process. Me only, the others not, but me. And at a morning coffee table, I was thinking about why don't we come up with a product where actually, or literally every person in the world is able to invest based on a, let's say, €50 package in the cryptocurrency world with a return of investment based on our trading and mining activity. Something I call a conservative product. People believe it's almost not possible to pay what we are paying, but it's easy to calculate. Anyway, that's another story. And I introduced this to my partners, and they looked at me like an alien. You know, they said, "We are in the investment business." I mean, imagine we come up with a €50 package. So we are asking people to invest 10,000, 100,000 or whatever into a broker account, and now you believe that we should come up with a €50 package and excite people in terms of investment. I said, it's not about a €50 package. It's about the whole world is able to invest €50. And we are looking for 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, millions of packages, not one. And the rest is history, as you know. I mean, what happened since we launched the BTC package, it's just unbelievable.
Well, that's right. I think the first time that I actually met you in person, we flew out to Stuttgart to meet yourself and Ralph. But we'd already met Mike in London, just to really get to understand, you know, a little bit about yourselves and what where you saw the business was going. And one of the questions was who actually came up with the BTC packages, which I think you've obviously answered. It was your brainchild to bring that to market. And €50 as an entry level, it means everybody can get involved. You know, it's attracted the masses, and as you've seen, or as we've all seen, you know, this phenomenal growth that has happened within USI. You know, we met again, didn't we? I think in March. I think you came over to the UK. We did a little mini tour when you came down to my neck of the woods in Maidstone in Kent, and then we went and did a venue in London. Went up to Manchester where Sharon is up there, and you know, it's just been, you know, very impressive. But I think what's been more impressive and what people sort of say to me is the fact that we do these face-to-face events and that you are very visible out there. All three of you are very visible. You interact with all the affiliates, and I think that's paramount for the growth and the success of the business. All three of you are extremely working very, very hard. You've been around the globe a lot. You travel, you live in 3 different areas. What for you though this year, the places that you've been and seen, and you've actually delivered a speech at these events, is there anything that surprised you or anything that stuck in your mind as you're going around these events? What was your favorite sort of experience of 2017 whilst doing the events?
The point is, honestly, I never worked so hard like in the last year, honestly. And I was on the way to retire, imagine. So it's exactly the opposite. And it's true, I was traveling a lot in my business career and all over the globe as well, but not as much as I was around the last 12 months. And you know, I'm more or less the industrial management part of our management group, and I take care of, let's say, I'm not a networker at all. I was never in the network marketing business or direct sales business because it was definitely not possible for me being in a management role and get in touch with, let's say, network marketing or multi-level marketing, or however you call it. So I'm more the industrial, serious business person. I mean, serious in terms of industrial business. So I was involved in banks and airports, nuclear plants, and security project, huge security projects. So what really touched me the last 12 months, you know, when you are in the industrial business, you travel and you are sitting on a conference table and people are looking like it's raining since 3 days, and a lot of papers in front of them, and you are negotiating 100 million business when everybody's squeezing out whatever it's possible to squeeze. So it's not really the same. So when I traveled the last 12 months, I was almost on stage crying about all these stories I heard. You know, people, they changed their life and they gave me a hug and they unbelievable. So that it was really, how do you say that English word, overwhelming or something like that?
Yeah.
I never experienced something emotional like this, and that's what actually drives me, because I realize no matter how hard it is and how hard it was the last 12 months, what we just started, what we have initiated, so to say. And I was in Asia, I was in Japan, I was in European countries, in USA, and wherever I go, I meet, you know, there was a lady 3 or 4 days ago, she sent me on Skype, she's from London, by the way, or from UK at least. She's a handicapped woman, she's in a chair wheel. And in London, our great event in London, I met her in the elevator. So the elevator opened and she came out with a wheelchair and she said, oh my God, can we make a picture? And I've said, of course, let's do a picture. And she gave me a hug and whatever. So she wrote me 3 days ago, she asked me to help her because she made a wrong purchase. She purchased tokens instead of BTC packages. And for her, it was a lot of money. And she was afraid it's gone because she could not understood the advantage of token. I should tell her keep the tokens, but I helped her to change it into BTC package. I can tell you, she wrote me a 5 pages letter afterwards with all these kisses and hearts and whatever, and unbelievable. So back to your questions, it was wherever I was, it was unbelievable, in USA, in Asia, in UK, in Europe, because of the excitement of meeting people, you know, make friendships or relations or whatever. And the big difference in our company is everybody's happy because everybody's doing more or less making money. So if you walk into a room, I was in meetings in the past because I was invited in some sales meetings, and 80% of the people, they are on, hopefully I'm gonna make it sometimes as well, you know. And there are the big heroes on stage, and 5% are doing money, and the other 95% are spending money and pay for the success of the heroes. So that's the reality. In our business, everybody is making more or less money. I mean, it's just a question of time. It's not a question of, I believe it's even not a question of skills, because our product sells itself.
It's interesting you say that, because I've actually, I mean, when I first met you, you know, one of the things I would say about yourself is being a person that's very ethical, but very straight talking, but very businesslike. But I've seen you soften a little bit over this year because the interaction that you've had with the members, and it's an experience that I was fortunate to have when someone said to me, "You've helped me do this and that," and you know, it's an experience that it warms, you know, it warms your heart, and you can't. It's an emotion that I didn't perhaps think I had inside myself either. In that feeling, that emotion. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But the other thing which I need to talk about is the fact that although network marketing is a fantastic business, and it makes the most millionaires every year, it's an incredible business, it can also be a very cruel business. And what I mean by that, because of social media and what people tend to want to try and bring people down. It's a horrible thing, but it happens, especially in this business, you know, and because you're so visual out there, people feel that they can have attacks. That you've got these so-called people that you would not have recognized until you came into network marketing, the haters, the keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them, that take personal attacks on people. I had it myself the other week. I do a weekly webinar. I was actually out. I double booked myself. I was actually out with my family. And I was in a restaurant, and I thought I need to get on the call because I said I would do this weekly webinar. The restaurant were kindly enough to put me in a dark room somewhere. The next thing you know, you've got people on there messaging, why is he hiding? You know, why is he this? Why is he that? I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know. But obviously you've had an element of that. We see it on social media. The flip side is all the nice stuff that you was talking about. But how do you deal with you know, people that may take personal, do you just ignore it? But more importantly, and going forward, you know, the company and the untruths that are said about the company, what's the company looking to do about this going forward?
First of all, personally, I was a bit shocked at the very beginning when the business was taking off and all this, you know, positive things happen, but also all this people who are writing all this shit in the internet and all these things. I mean, I was asking myself why people believe that I would stay in front of all these people and tell them a kind of whatever Wonder Boy story about our wonderful business. Why should I damage my reputation from the past and stay up and you know, talk about a fake business or whatever? But actually, I realized it's the people in this industry, many people in this industry, maybe most people in the industry, most of them failed so many times. Actually, after a certain time, when they give up, so to say, they are really, I don't know, they are really unsatisfied with whatever they have done without any success. In front of them, all the millionaires, and finally, that so many bad experience. And that's my understanding of what happens with all these people. But anyway, what as a company we have to protect. First of all, I am the person who is always saying, stay calm, don't run behind everything that's coming up. We come up with the right answers when it's the right time, and don't worry. And if it's too tough, we need to go over our lawyers or send out warnings or whatever. But the best thing is possible to ignore it and come up with answers. That's what we are working on, and I think that's the right answer, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I say, it's a negative, and it is the few, unfortunately. And you're right. I think those people perhaps have had bad experiences, and they want to try and bring other people's hopes and aspirations down. But let's get rid of the negative. Let's move into August, which was another big month for USI-TECH. It was the official USA launch. Okay. Which proved a pretty testing time for yourself, I know, because you spent a lot of time with Dan Hunt, I think, because you were looking at getting legal opinions to make sure the business remained compliant in the States. Tell us just some of the challenges you had and you was faced in being able to bring that to the table. You know, it was a time that you had to spend an awful lot of time, I think, over there or talking to lawyers to manage to make sure that USI stayed compliant within the States.
The point is, it's very tough to do business in USA at all. It's not only the direct sales or network marketing business. Imagine, I'm not saying that Volkswagen was doing everything right. I mean, they definitely made some errors. But look how they have been punished from USA based on the failure they have done, of course. But they almost collapsed out of the results of what happened afterwards. What I'm trying to say is it's very tough in USA to take care that you as a company not get punished at all. But the point is, we are located, as you know, in Dubai. Our company is registered in Dubai. It's not about us. It's about doing business in USA and make sure that our customers and our affiliates are secure. That's what I'm take care of, because at the end of the day, we are in Dubai. Nobody takes care about us as a company in Dubai out of USA. But at the end of the day, it's our affiliates we need to take care. But it's really, really tough. So always when you believe it's done, something new pops up. So we are in a stage where we believe the key of being accepted in USA, so to say, is to report taxes. So after all I learned in USA, everybody is telling us you have to go through a procedure where we come up with a transparency of our customers, where we show, first of all, who's involved in our business in USA, of course, and what are they doing in terms of business or as a customer in terms of products, and what's the result in terms of tax relevant results. So I believe at the end of the day, we need to come up with the transparency and typical USA tax reports, and that's actually what USI wants a company to do: show them the income of the company and what's relevant, what's tax relevant in terms of customer business. So that's what we are working on. But anyway, USA is really a tough market.
It is a tough market. I think everybody would agree with you there, Horst. But then, you know, we had some fun times in October with the, it was another busy month. Not only was it your birthday, it was mine. We share the same month. We're both Librans, which are the nicest star sign in the zodiac, by the way. But we had an amazing trip in Mallorca, didn't we? And I was privileged to be there. 3 or 4 nights, we stayed at fantastic hotels, boat trips, fine wines, partying hard till the early hours of the morning, Jeep challenges and team building. Thoroughly spoiled we were. What importance do you put on these trips for us all?
The most important thing is to show people we are real and we are touchable, so to say. I mean, we travel all around the world. We have events all over the world. We are on stage and we can talk to people, a handful or sometimes thousands of people. But at the end of the day, it's important to be available and to be, let's say, in contact with people. In such an event like Mallorca, people there, they realize we are more or less the same character of any other people you could put in front of this company. We are not something special. We are real. We love to party. We love to have fun, and nothing different at all. And what's also important, I believe, people can learn from each other. I mean, everybody has his own experience in this business, but at the end of the day, if such a group comes together, I mean, hundreds of people, they can learn from each other, their failure, their success, their communication, and their vision, and their success so far. That's what I believe makes the essence of such an event. And I was really excited about Mallorca, by the way. I was participating in a lot of events, but this was really an emotional event.
It was a fantastic event, and you know, people do learn off each other. We're all from different walks of life, and there was a big coming together. Different downlines didn't matter. We're all one big team in USI, and you know, and to see you guys, you're just normal, ordinary guys that like to party. I was testament of that. Some good dance moves, by the way, Horst. Very impressive. But it was just a fantastic event. And then, of course, later on in that month, we had the big one, the year anniversary in London, which was incredible. Lots of new news coming out. The addition of a team member, Evan Ahern, to the team. A big emphasis on mining was announced, new FX products, back office, new support, new marketing, material ATMs. Oh my God, the list goes on and on. And then, of course, the big one, the announcement of USI's very own cryptocurrency, you know, the tech coin, just incredible. But if we can, let's just spend a little bit of time just speaking about Evan, because I think it's testament to you and your team to be able to attract somebody of Evan's caliber to the team, tell me, how did you meet Evan, and how did you go about getting to join the USI party, and what actually do you think he brings to the overall structure of the company?
So let me talk a bit about my business career. When I look back the last 20, 25, almost 30 years, oh my God, I can say honestly, my way of doing business was always very personal. I mean, based on relations. It was not just doing business. So whenever I was engaged with a company, with my own organization, with other organizations, it was, for me, it was always very personal. And that's how I was have been doing business all over the time. And I believe in the law of attraction, and that's most important with people. So to attract the right people is, first of all, you have to be in the right mind shape, and that's the basis for attraction. And then if you are in front, or if you are connected with, so to say, the right people, they have to believe, they have to feel, they have to understand what's going on. And so I met Evan in Las Vegas, and he's a successful businessman, and his family is doing business since, I mean, I don't know, hundreds of years, third generation, and a huge business with, I don't know how many companies they are running all over the world, by the way, based in Las Vegas. But when we met each other, and when we, were talking about his experiences, his knowledge, and our vision, and my background, step by step, it was just a relation, it was a friendship, and I was able to excite him to start as a product management person with our company, and he's now responsible, and he's engaged with all our technicians, our developers, and everything. He pulls everything together, and I can tell you what's coming up within the next month. It's just great, just great.
Okay, all right, and of course, you know, there was the big announcement about the company making a massive investment in mining, which in recent weeks, I have to be honest with you, has been quite controversial in terms of the feedback. You know, do we lease it? Do we own it? Is there a third party involved? You know, there may be commercial agreements that we don't know about, where you've signed NDAs in place that you're forbidden to speak about it. But you know, the real details are starting to be shown in terms of what we're seeing on the blockchain, the mining pools. It kind of makes all the nonsense go away. And, you know, we respect that, like I said, because of commercial agreements and possible NDAs in place, you can't actually say too much. But can you clarify anything regarding the current situation, regarding the current mining? Because we're now starting to see that on the mining pools.
Sure, and it's easy to explain as well. First of all, we're gonna be in, I would say, 6 months from now, one of the top 10 miners in the world. That's the announcement. So we are investing so much money now in mining, I mean, our customers' money, in order to produce the return of our investment for our customers. But I can tell you honestly, everything is in preparation, and it's, again, stay calm, come up with the right information. Unfortunately, we made some mistakes in communication out of the wrong details, but everything we came up with was true, as a, let's say, at the end. But some of the details were wrong. That was also my fault, especially in Mallorca. I was talking about the wrong hardware, something like that. I can't remember. But at the end of the day, the reality is we are preparing our own huge facility, where we're going to show people in a short time our own, and only owned by us, facility. We're going to have we're going to have a position within next year, where I would say June, July, going to be one of the top 10 Bitcoin miners in the world, imagine. So I would say in a ranking somewhere between position 5, 6, or 7 in the world. And that's something huge. I mean, that's really something huge. And at the beginning of our mining, and that's easy to explain why it's a bit confusing or why it was a bit confusing, it's very hard in this world market to get in touch with, efficient Bitcoin mining market. I'm not talking about 100,000 euros mining hardware. I'm talking about 10, 20, 30 millions a month or more mining hardware. So the market is absolutely going crazy with mining, Bitcoin mining hardware. Our first engagement with mining was a bit different than buying hardware, put it in a facility and turn it on. I wanted to be involved fast in this market, as fast as possible. And the problem was hardware. So what we have done in the past was we just engaged ourselves with the company who was already possessing the hardware. So it was more or less a kind of a rental or leasing agreement. So pay for it, own it immediately, and earn immediately. That was the very beginning. Based on an agreement with a company, with an NDA, as you mentioned it already, because they are selling and doing facilities for other companies as well. And it's a kind of competition. Who gets the most out in this Bitcoin world? And that was our very beginning. And it was always clear, as soon as we have 100 or 150 Bitcoin petahash in the market, Bitcoin petahash in the market, I'm not talking about the GPU mining, as that's something we are doing as well, very successfully. We are able to take it over, and then we're going to be directly connected with the supplier, and then we can announce this is our direct engagement with the biggest supplier in the world, and this is our mining facility. So far, we are more or less in different environments with partially our own rented hardware so far, if you want to. It's not really rented, but if you know what I mean. And that's all going to change at the beginning of next year, because it's going to be our own mining facility. It's exclusive for us. We can show it. We can prove it. We will show our petahash and our mining results in our back office and our hash codes, and all this going to change everything. And I can tell you, I'm really proud about what we have reached so far in this market. And it's the law of attraction. It's to get engaged with the right people, make it happen. And again, after 1 year, we're going to be one of the top 10s in the world in terms of Bitcoin mining. Isn't that great? I mean, that's something special.
It is. I mean, does it affect the BTC package in terms of the makeup of the BTC package? Because historically, it's been the makeup of that BTC package has been arbitrage, it's been trading against other cryptos, other altcoins, fiat, and mining. Will the makeup of the Bitcoin package be more towards mining now, or will it still cut across those other revenue streams?
No, it's always gonna be a mix. My whole idea about a BTC package is it's not really important where the outcome of the BTC package comes from. We need to diversify as a company. USI-TECH, we're not gonna make errors like other huge company in this market. I'm not gonna name it, but they are really focused on one strategy and one way into this market, and that could fail. Imagine if you're not able to get in touch with hardware, for instance, but your business is based on mining only, and your income is overselling in terms of not getting in touch with the amount of hardware, the facilities, you are in deep shit, so to say. So that's why we are diversifying our business. So we have changes now. We have adoptions in our trading environment. We are working on a brilliant environment in parallel to everything we are doing in terms of trading and mining. That's what we call artificial intelligent trading. That's something that's going to change everything again, because it's not only cryptocurrency, it will be fiat as well again, but in a different way. We have collected one of the I would say, best experts around the world, and we are working on a environment that gives our customers a flexibility and a transparency that's just going to blow all customers' mind away, I believe. And that's shortly before we are able to announce it, and many other things. But coming back to a question, BTC package is a bond business, from my understanding. You know, people, they can participate on our businesses by you know, putting in their money into our company. We work on it, and we give them partially back what we earn in terms of success. That's exactly what we are doing.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, going back to when I first met you back in sort of February, March, I think one of the things that I left that meeting with is the fact that you guys do diversify, and it's very important in any business to diversify, stay ahead of the curve, and make sure that you adapt where you need to adapt to get those returns in. So you know, what you're saying there is exactly being consistent from the very off. So let's move on now to, I'm conscious of time, there's a few more questions we need to get through. The FX product, you know, how's it coming along? How will it be displayed in the back office, and will there be the transparency shown in the back office, or will it be set on a separate web page? Or how's that coming along?
As I always said, first of all, you need a product, then you need to make sure it's successful. Once it's successful, you need to make sure that you earn money as a company, not only spend it. I mean, what's left is what you earn, not income is earning. So we have to differentiate between income and earnings. Once you have earnings, you have to invest it wisely. Then you can even gain muscles. We have gained muscles during the last 12 months, definitely. And now we are on the way to, by the way, we have just switched our software into a new environment. That was a challenge. As you might remember, we had a lot of difficulties with that fast increase of members. And that's done. I think we have no performance issues anymore. We are worldwide. And during the last 4 weeks, we had some issues out of this huge movement, but I think that's almost done as well. Now we have service issues. We are pulling in service people like crazy, and always when we believe it's done, we need to purchase another 20. So it's really a challenge, but now we are in a position where we can concentrate next year on what has to be done in terms of transparency, back office transparency, trading transparency, mining transparency, and that starts definitely in January, March, April. That's going to be February. That's going to be the time where we integrate and come up with our official white paper. That's done, by the way. So it's going to be announced this year, I guess, before Christmas, if I understood that right. So the white paperwork is done for our own coin, the TECH coin. What we need to understand, what we are working on, is a complete trading and cryptocurrency world with our own exchanger, our own trading platform, our own coin, our own merchandise world, and our own value all around this, like Bitfinex, partially like trading companies, Forex, like broker, and all this we are pulling. We pull this together as a package where I believe we are not really a network marketing company at all. I believe at the end of the day, we are investment company or a financial company or an exchanger or whatever, and that's what we are working on. So that's our vision for next year, with I believe more than 1 million of affiliates until mid of next year.
Yeah. I mean, we touched upon it just a minute ago, the new back office, which was a necessary evil for you. I think it's probably the only time that I've seen you a little bit stressed, or spoken to you, you seemed a little bit stressed at that point. And it always amazes me, though, that a lot of the affiliates were saying, well, why aren't they doing this? Do they not care? And I can tell you from speaking to you at the time that you very much do care about getting this right and making sure that the platform is there for everybody to use and to deliver what it needs to deliver. I mean, how far in terms of resolving all the issues are you? And is there still work to be done? I know you're saying you still need to add servers constantly and all the rest of it, but in terms of the general issues that arise through that, how far are you in getting those all resolved?
The point is we are over 600,000 members now. I don't know if people realize that. And it's like working against windmills. It's not only that we have some cleanups we have to do. It's also the huge increase we are doing. We are I don't know exactly how many people per day, but thousands of people, new customers per day. We need to make sure that we give them support, and we do have a backlog of support. It's not really something we can deny, and we are working on this really hard. But on the other hand, what people do not realize, we have extremely bad attacks to our side. So we are in a market where I believe a lot of people are jealous about our success, and not only people, I guess company as well. And we had so many attacks during the last 3 months, unbelievable. That was also a security issue. We had hacker attacks, we had downtime attacks, we had stress attacks, all these things. And on one side, on the other side, and we want to make sure that we're still secure. And I think nothing really dramatically happened in terms of people lost their money or their account or whatever. And on the other hand, we have issues like small adoptions in our software, things we need to work on. But in total, our percentage, just to give you an idea, of service requests, less than 1% per day.
Okay, that's amazing. I mean, you know, keeping up to date with all the new members that are coming in, you know, and getting new support in, because you announced there was new support coming at the event, and I think you actually then changed that again because you wasn't satisfied with the delivery of it. So how's the new company doing then? And you know, what processes or procedures are you recruiting still, or are you happy with the amount of people that you've got in there? There's obviously a training need when you get new support in. You know, are you looking to add to that, or where do you see that going?
I have made a decision 2 months ago that we need to be engaged with the biggest software support company in the world, and we just signed 2 months ago the contracts, and they are available all over the world. I mean, really all over the world, and they are doing services for banks, for big organizations, huge organizations. And it's the problem is, once you are engaged with such a company, it's not like you turn on 150 service agents and then they start. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. They need to be trained. They are on different languages, like Asian languages, like all the other Germans and Europeans and whatever languages, and that needs to be coordinated. That's really based on our, I would say, 10,000 a day new members. That's really a challenge. But we are on a good way. So we have the right people in place. We are engaged with, I believe, right company. We start to increase our phone availability as well. That helps. We are doing trainings on a daily basis. I would say within another 3 to 4 or 5 months, we will have a really excellent service. Don't forget, in this market, and especially in the network marketing environment, as far as I understand, many companies, they have no services, almost no services. So they fail in services at all. And we are building phone call services. We are on Freshdesk with our email services. We are on multi-languages services. And again, show me a company that that developed, let's say, 600,000 people in 1 year. That's a challenge at all. But again, out of this, we have less than 1% service requests per day. But anyway, if it's 10,000 people, 1% is 100 people. New requests per day. and based on the old ones, and that's just crazy. You know, it's really against windmills sometimes.
Yeah, it is a major challenge, but obviously, you know, what people want to know is, and I think you've answered it there, is that you clearly are aware of it, and you're passionate about getting it right, and you will get it right. But we need to be a bit more patient, because the growth of the company has been such that it is extremely difficult to put all of that in place and get it right straight away. So anyway, listen, a couple more questions. You know, very quick one on the marketing material. Any updates on that? When's that likely to be available? What sort of timelines are you working to?
We are working on many things. We are working on a final multilingual USI-TECH presentation. I mean, a PowerPoint presentation. That's mandatory for every person who wants to come up with a presentation. Everything else will not be allowed from the beginning of next year. We are working on fantastic videos. So videos about our own coin, videos about our business at all, also in different languages. It's also going to be available. We're going to have a merchant account next year, maybe also important for people where they can buy merchandise products to develop their own business. So we just find a company. We're able to find a company who's able to deliver this products more or less all over the world. This is what we are working on. I know it's never been. It could always be a bit more, but don't forget our challenges. We always have to deal with at least 5, 6, 7, or 8 languages. We are working on our USI-TECH homepage. We're going to improve that as well. Frequent ask question environment will come up, and all these things. And again, we are working on the upcoming new products as well, and this has to be implemented also. So it's really, it's like being a hamster in the wheel, you know.
Okay.
But, for good.
All good. Okay, so then, you know, just finally coming into the obviously the big one, the Tech coin, already raised. I think I looked at an hour or so ago. We almost raised 80 million in what, a month and a half has it been? Did you imagine that we'd raise that amount in this time? You know,
people were asking me in London when we're going to have the first bonus, and I said we're going to have it in January, end of January. I still believe. I don't know why, but most of the things I came up with in terms of figures and dates and whatever, it almost was almost most of the time almost how do you say it, point landing or whatever. I personally believe our first bonus will be mid or end of January. So a bonus means we're going to double up whoever owns a higher package what they have purchased. And January, February will be our promotion, announcement, promoting material. We have, so far, we don't really have done so much promotion with the tokens. And once the white paper will be available, once everything is in place in terms of our new coin, we will start a huge promotion. And guess what happens then? Yes, I'm satisfied so far. I mean, it's great. It's 80 millions. We are investing that wisely, by the way. Especially in our own facility for mining, and some things Evan is working on. He's dreaming about his, not only dreaming, he can't sleep anymore. That's what I'm trying to say about his new electricity environment. He's just purchased two gas turbines. So he's really, sometimes when I'm on the call with him, I only can see part of his head between all these machines, you know. So he's really a great guy. So back to your question, the token side so far is just great without doing advertisement heavily, but it's going to be even better next year.
Okay, and obviously you mentioned the white paper. Hopefully, going to be with us by the end of this year. So that's great. What are your expectations of the coin, and why do you believe it will be a success?
Whenever someone launches a coin, a company, organization, or doing an ICO with a coin, it's always based on an idea of a business, isn't it? So they believe they have invented the wheel once again, and they come up with a brilliant idea, discover the world new and whatever, if you know what I mean. But it's always based on a lot of belief. The investors, they have to believe in. With us, it's totally different. When we are going to launch our coin, it's not a hope, it's not a belief at all. It's going to be 1 million of business partners, and they are real. I mean, imagine when we launch the coin, we have 1 million of people who get in touch with the coin and will be able to use the advantage of the coin. So show me a company in the past that was able to launch a coin with 1 million of customers right away, or partners, so to say. So whenever you knock on a door and ask exchangers like Kraken, like Bitfinex or whatever, are you going to launch my coin? Guess what's the question? Show me your traffic. Show me your exchange rate. And our exchange rate from 0 to wherever is going to be huge from the very beginning, because we are all on it or in it or with it. So that's why I'm absolutely convinced. I can't tell you wherever we're going to be with our tokens within whatever the next or months after the launch. The only thing I can say, it's going to be unbelievable successful, because we will have 1 million of our own people who are going to trade, exchange, and use it right away. That's why I'm absolutely convinced it's going to be a great success story.
Yeah, so we've already got our own community that's going to be using it, which obviously gives us a massive competitive edge, like you say, against anything else that's been out there. So looking ahead then to 2018, can you just share with us what you think is coming, just a little bit? I know you've touched upon certain things as we've gone through the interview, but can you just what are the key months that you're looking at? I know you're looking at delivering our own mining. Was it June? What are the key dates for 2018 that we can look forward to?
First of all, we're going to have an unbelievable grow again in 2018. I believe we will hit the 1 million affiliates already mid of 2018. That's unbelievable, by making many people happy in terms of income as well. The other thing is, it's going to be our technical year next year. So I would say the last 12 months, or the time behind us, that was the marketing and exciting part in terms of marketing direct sales, discover or engage countries all around the world. 2018 is going to be our technical year, where we really are able to show people that now that the product is in place, now that we gained muscles in terms of being able to invest, we can plug in step by step everything we promised, everything we were talking about. And at the end of next year, USI-TECH going to be in a totally different position, being, I'm repeating myself, being one of the top 10s in the bit mining world, with our own coin launched in the market, with our own identity based on our own coin. It gives you a total different identity. And with the possibility to exchange, to trade, to have an impact in all of the things in terms of tools. That's going to be 2018. It's just going to be great.
Okay. Some of the questions, thank you for that, Horst. Just some of the questions that have been coming in from Sharon. Over USI trading times over Christmas. What are the trading times over Christmas? And what happens? Is it just shut down for a week, or what's the thought process with that?
Can you repeat the question? I had a bit of difficulty with the connection.
Yeah, the question was, what will USI trading times be over Christmas?
Oh, the trading times over Christmas. Honestly, I don't know. That's a question I can't answer so far. But I don't think we're going to have any stop of trading or whatever. I think it's going to move forward like ever. So, but I'm really touched the question. I can't give you the right answer so far.
It's not bad. We've only been on an hour, so we'll let you off on that one. So don't worry, Horst. And Oh, Hawaii trip. Is that what is that still going to happen?
Actually, it's not going to be Hawaii at all, but it's going to be close to Hawaii. We found an even better location. Believe me, even more exciting, even more tropical, even more beautiful, and not far away from Hawaii. So this will make a huge difference of travel time over there. But we signed this contract as well. The marketing and organization companies working already on it, the same company as last time, and that's going to be also great events where we will come up soon with the challenge of the what it needs to be part of that big party next year.
What the qualification is going to be next year, that's yet to be decided. Okay, I mean, there's lots and lots of questions, but we've just to finish off a couple of things. Obviously, Christmas is fast approaching. We have our own Christmas do, USI Christmas do in London next week. There's about 6 tickets left available. Mike's very kindly going to be our guest of honor there on the 20th. What does Christmas look like for Horst Gischer? Where will you be spending it?
I spend it with my family in Brazil. I'm happy to have my family from Europe, Germany around me. At least some of my family members. My father's going to be with me. And my daughters will be with me, my brother's here, and my wife's family is around us as well. And that's my first Christmas where I have a mix of both families at one place. I'm really looking forward and being happy to celebrate Christmas, especially after such a tough year, honestly.
Well, I think, you know, you deserve, I think everybody would agree with me that you deserve an absolute break, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for spending the time and coming on the call and talking about, you know, USI, yourself, and where the company's going. I think on behalf of myself and all the affiliates, not just in my downline, but all the affiliates connected with USI, you know, you really are changing people's lives. We'd like to wish you an extremely happy Christmas, a healthy and prosperous New Year, and thank you for your time today, Horst.
Happy Christmas to all of you out there, and looking forward to meet you wherever in this world. And thank you for everything so far, and yeah, have a good time until next year, and Happy New Year as well.
Thanks very much. Cheerio, everybody. Have a good Christmas.
Thank you. Bye.